Continuing our talk here about the situation with Dial-A-Ride here in the Isle of Man. What do you want to be done? What's the answer to this? Them to pull out of this whole business, or carry on with just taking the patient transfers, or what?
You see, for me, right, let's put it to you this way from the start. I've been in this business for 15 years, okay? And over the 15 years that I've been in this job, there's been decisions made that sometimes I don't agree with. And I'll speak to other people and they may or may not agree with them either. And over time, we forget what's happened because we think it's not a big enough decision to make any major difference. This, of course, is different. It's different. And the reason why it's different is because it is what it is. It's a Section 25 regular bus service licence issued by virtue of the 2001 Road Transport Act. And that Act, without going into too much detail, only really deals with three things. It deals with buses, it deals with taxis, and it deals with heavy goods vehicles, okay? Take the taxis out of the equation and take the HGV out of the equation. Let's just talk about buses, okay? Because I'm not here to preach about taxis. A Section 25 bus service is what it is. By its virtue, it starts at a point and it finishes at a point. It runs along a route. If there's a diversion or a road closure, it will take a diversion around the road closure and eventually go back on its route and follow down to where it's going. But this patient transfer stroke airport service for extra passengers takes all this to a different level. Because for me, what it does is it changes the playing field dramatically for the future. Because what the RTLC have actually decided now is that there's no longer any predetermined routes. Predetermined routes are categorised in the Act. Okay, so that's what a bus service is. That's why a bus is different to a taxi. A taxi goes everywhere and a bus doesn't. But in the future, every bus or any licence that the Bus Vannin can apply for can in effect now go anywhere it so wishes. It crosses the line.
I understand. Okay, so what would you like done? Do you want it removed? Do you want them to charge it the going rate for anybody else that's getting on board? We
want a fair playing field. I mean, what people don't understand, we hear often a lot of complaints to say how expensive taxis are, but people's got to understand it's the only form of wheeled transport on the Isle of Man that's not subsidised by government. Every other form of wheeled transport on this island is subsidised by government. We know the government subsidises it with millions.
Do you want more consultation, or has it gone past that? Because
I think it's gone past that. I think they need to look at everything. OFT needs to get involved with it. They're not. They're very locked in. Like I said, I do believe their strings are being pulled by the DOI. And the RTLC have got a lot to explain for, because how they come with this legal definition, I honestly do not know.
This starting the second one from the South Island. Can you object to it, or is it go to?
We can object to it by law.
Will you be doing that? Obviously,
we will be objecting if necessary.
But didn't you object to the first one, presumably?
We didn't, because it was a 12-month trial period. We decided not to appeal. That was the reason why we did not appeal.
Right.
So it looks like we've been ambushed, doesn't it?
So this one you're going to go and take it.
This looks like a political ambush.
And if nothing else, and makes again clear that, because I don't know the ins and outs, I'm only going what you're telling me, these buses at the minute, even though the government said it wasn't happening, the minister said, are actually going door to door with somebody for £10, even if it's not on that particular on that road.
There's no routes. You see, this is the thing. John said he didn't object to it. He actually did object to it. I think he meant to say he didn't appeal to it. There's a difference between appealing to it and objecting. He did object to it. I know he did, because I was at the objection with him. I objected to it. I've been objecting to it for 12 months. Okay, but there was something that stood out at the actual hearing, the final hearing that we went to. There was one of the directors of the chief operators of Bus Vannin went on record and actually said that the decision to introduce Dial-A-Ride was a political decision. Okay, that's fine in itself, but
so you can back this up with this is on the record, or is
yes, it was all minutes. Everything was minuted. Okay. So the problem I have with this is that the Act is specific. Okay, and before the hearing, I, along with 3 or 4 other individuals, went and seek legal advice on this, and the legal advice that we had is in total contradiction. The legal opinion we had is in total contradiction to the granting of this particular license, and it's to do with the predetermined limits and the routes. Okay, so yes, it may well have been a political decision to try to introduce, and in the end to introduce Dial-A-Ride services, but what I'm saying is I cannot accept that this licence should ever have been granted in the first place. And if it was a political decision to introduce it, I am now pleading with politicians to actually look at it and to find out how on earth the licence was granted in the first place.
Could this put some taxi drivers over the edge?
Yes, without a doubt. I do. I mean, the three major companies in Douglas have very expensive computer booking dispatch systems.
You have the pickings here, don't you?
We do have the pickings, but they cost a lot of money. But at the end of the day, the way the taxi traders work, if Barry was working under my banner, he would have to pay me a radio rent or an agent's fee. That cost then of that agent's fee goes towards the cost of staff, of the equipment. And like I said, the booking and dispatch system is very expensive. If people can't afford to pay us a radio rent or an agent's fee, we can't run. And we'll go, what it would do, we're going backwards, not forward, backwards.
Demonstrations, withdrawal services, what were we going to go
last
with?
Resort, what we want to do is get it to the public, trying to get them to understand it's not same old thing, taxi drivers want this, want that. We want a level playing field, and we want it to be fair, and we need judgments and decisions by government, not on political, but on common sense. That's the most important, common sense. They need to sit down, talk to us, and then let's get it on and let's get it sorted, because people will not be able to get taxis at 1 o'clock in the morning. They will not be able to pick up. This is not scaremongering, this is a fact. I do fear that maybe one or two of the firms in Douglas will not survive this, including myself, my firm. I really do worry about it, and it needs to be sorted, because people will not get a taxi at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because Bus Vannin don't work on Christmas Day, New Year's Day, or after 11 o'clock, I think it is. So how are people going to get home? It's going to affect the economy of the island, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, a lot.